Hello everyone, it's Nady, and today we have the latest best and worst of beauty. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tip you may have with them, please cast it away, because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Thank you. So, last month, you sexy beasts gave so many good suggestions as to what we should officially call best and worst of beauty, like so many good ones. Hold on, the middle of my lip is bald, I gotta reapply some lipstick. Anyways, the suggestion with the most likes and comments was from my fabulous friend Neo from Neo Does Makeup, and so I am happy to announce that this series is officially called Yady or Nady. I will still put best and worst in the thumbnails just so people know what the fuck is going on, but I just love that name. Thank you guys so much for all the fabulous suggestions. Like, I cannot thank you ingenious bitches enough. Yady or Nady, that's just some clever shit right there. Anyways, this is that time of the month again. Yes, you guessed it, the time where we recap all of the beauty items that I've used that I either like, kinda like, or don't like. I've gotten to use these products quite a bit more than I did in the initial review, and I was able to get a better feel for them and kind of categorize them. And no, this is not a diss towards any brand. Some of these products you might love that I might hate and vice versa. This is totally just for fun. It's simply a rundown of what works and doesn't work for me. Some of the brands that are in the shit category I absolutely love, so this really isn't made to be taken too seriously. I'm just letting you know what the hell's up. So let's go ahead and jump right into this bitch with the first category, which is the worst products. And I feel like when people do these kinds of videos, this is always my favorite category because people get to talk shit, but unfortunately I only have like 2 or 3 products. Starting with the MAC Alia collection. Yes, you heard me correct, Alia. I got so much fucking shit for pronouncing her name correctly. If you don't believe me, listen right here to an interview where she's pronouncing her name.
Alia. Yeah. Like Muhammad Ali.
Oh, did you hear that? Anyways, bitter bitch aside, I really wanted to love these products. Like, I do really like MAC, and I really like Alia, so I was super disappointed when these just didn't perform that great. This low palette, I think, was like around 40 bucks, and the shadows are just so blah. There's not a lot to choose from. It is so unoriginal. There's really no shades in here that I can't easily do. I legit forgot about this and have not even reached for it since reviewing it. It's just really damn disappointing. Same for this lipstick. Like, usually MAC lipsticks blow me out of the water, but this one, I thought the color was beautiful, but literally 3 minutes after I put this on, it was gone. It feathered like crazy. I did try this again because I thought maybe there was oil on my lips or something, but even when I tried it the second time, it was a fucking mess. I looked like a horror movie clown blow-up doll bullshit. Ugh, I just didn't like it. And I don't even want to give this away to a family member or friend because, like, why would I want to inflict that on them? So for the most part, I love you, MAC, but this was just a waste. Meh. Oh my god. Next up, what do you think we have? If you guessed Too-Faced, bitch, you guessed right. This giant-ass little bitch. Like, unless it vibrates, bigger is not always better. Not only are the shadows inside not memorable, but I don't have any room. Like, where the fuck am I gonna put this? I went into this review hoping to love it, and it's not like I hate it, it just isn't good. For one, where in the fuck is the cake smell? This smells more like pine trees than cake. Also, the glitter on the palette falls the fuck everywhere. Like, I have glitter on my pants just from opening this. Oh, it's like a leprechaun ejaculated on my shorts, what the hell? But more about the palette. I don't know who the fuck's idea it was to create this many shimmers. Like, nobody needs 17 shimmers and only 3 mattes. And don't get me wrong, the mattes are very, very good quality. They match all of the shimmers, so you can create quite a few looks with this. But bitch, this was supposed to be reminiscent of the last 20 years, and what have we learned in the last 20 years? To be diverse. This is not diverse. Like, these shadows on the top are almost the exact same as the shadows on the bottom. They're a little bit different, but seriously. Like, once you apply them and blend them out, they look the exact same. I don't know, some of Too-Faced shit I absolutely adore, but this one, it's almost like a joke more than anything. Like, what the hell? Meh. Also, the little eye samples that they include in this book, it's kind of funny to look at because they all look the same except they just have a different metallic shade on the eyelid. It's like, what the fuck is the point? Oh, not to mention the fact that this little bitch was very expensive. I think it was almost like 60 bucks. I'm so sorry, Too-Faced, but it's a no. And there's another brand that will never add me to their PR list. Speaking of brands that unfortunately probably won't be adding me to their PR list anytime soon, is our last and third product, the Norvina Anastasia palette. It's not that this was shit because it actually was pretty good. It just was very underwhelming for all the hype that it was getting. The shadows were beautiful, the fallout was extreme, but with Anastasia, it's really not that big of a deal because it just wipes away. But my issue is that this is like a purple palette, yet we really only get 1 purple matte in here, and it's not even that great. Like, everybody was losing their shit and creaming themselves over this purple, but I just didn't love it. Like, it is pretty, but if you're gonna do a purple palette, like, do the damn thing up and add more purples. Yes, we get these these 2 purple shimmers, but that's not enough. Like, this bitch wants more. And this entire top row is pretty much gel. Like, you have to be so incredibly fucking soft. Like, this palette is so not beginner friendly. Like, you have to know your shit when you're working with this. And I feel like that's really not what people want. Like, they want something that they can easily dip into, easily blend out, something that isn't gonna be a total fucking mess, that they can just wake up in the morning, splat on their eyes, and go. Like, they have come out with so many good palettes, but to me, this palette was just a lot of the same and very underwhelming. And I love the shit out of Norvina. Please don't think I'm attacking her. This is definitely one of those cases where it's about the product, not the people behind it. And even though her name's on it, I don't love it, and so many beauty gurus hyped this up, and I myself fell into the trap, but once the dust cleared, I saw that I'm not in love with this. For me, this just did not move the Soft Glam palette off its pedestal. Alright, that was difficult. I feel absolutely terrible. Let's move on to our meh category, which our first product I'm sure will come as no surprise from anyone. We have Laura Lee's Party Animal palette. The sister to this palette, Boss Babe, I actually fucking love, but this one, it just fell flat. When I first reviewed this, I wasn't sure what to think because the look that I made was kind of a disaster, but then once we got this in the BoxyCharm, I really liked the look, but the quality of the ones that I purchased and came in a box was completely different than the ones that were in BoxyCharm. Like, this is how the ones that I bought came in a nice little box all wrapped up and tight, and this is exactly how the one that I got in BoxyCharm came all open, and I kind of think that because this palette wasn't in a box, these shadows actually dried up and made them kind of shitty. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice. Ugh. Personally, I don't hate this palette. Like, I think you can create a few fun looks with this, and the colors are really vibrant, even though you do kind of have to pack a shit ton on. What I don't like about this palette is the inconsistency. Like, one person might get a really good palette, and the next person might get a shitty palette. Like I said, I have no idea if that's because some of these were in boxes and some of them weren't, but just like the quality isn't the best, like, it's okay, but oh, I don't know. I probably am gonna use this quite a bit more because I think the colors are cool, but it's just not as good a quality as Boss Babe was, nor Nudie Patootie or Cat's Pajamas. It's just eh. Next up, we have a slightly controversial product, which is the Booty Blender Foundation. This shit I initially loved. Like, it looked so good on my skin. It blended out amazingly. It applied marvelously. I looked and I felt flawless. It was during the wear time test where she fell flat on her ass. Every time I've worn this, it starts off so good and I'm so hopeful, but then about 4 or 5 hours in, it starts separating around my nose, which I never really have an issue with other foundations. And for me, at least, it starts to look really cakey. I mean, it looks great from a distance, but then once you get up close, she doesn't look good. I also thought that I would love this packaging because it's so innovative and really good quality, but let me show you how much of a dirty hoe this thing is. Okay, look at this. She is not clean. She is not classy. She is nasty. Thus, I kind of have to store it in the box, which this thing is bulky. And it's not like you get any more product than any other foundation. This is the standard 1 ounce. I mean, what the hell? This foundation is just like the makeup version of a daddy going through a midlife crisis. He wants something big. He wants something expensive. But honey, it ain't worth it and you're just gonna end up looking ridiculous. But the reason this isn't in the worst products is because for a few hours, this actually looks really good, which is perfect for somebody like me who just smears it on for a few hours when I'm reviewing something and then I can just take it off. But for everyday use, at least for me, no. Oh, this next one makes me really sad to put in the meh category because usually their products are outstanding. And that is Juvia's Place at Freak Palette. I am obsessed with Juvia's Place. In fact, I ordered pretty much every one of their eyeshadows and I have them in my little film queue because I want to test a bunch of them and see if they are indeed worth the hype. But so far, everything that I've tested from them was amazeballs, but this one just, ugh. It's just the bright colors weren't that great. Like, usually Juvia's Place had their shit together, but with this one, I don't know. The shimmers, of course, were out of this world, but the mattes, even though they are pigmented, they just didn't perform that great, and I have no fucking clue why. I know a lot of people said the exact same thing, and maybe those of us who dislike this palette got duds. But for me, this wasn't the worst palette we've ever tried, but for Juvia's Place standards, it's not that great. Which honestly just makes me more excited for the next launch because I know they're gonna kill that shit. And last up on our meh list, we have Jaclyn Hill. This collection was something. I'm so sad about this because Jaclyn is one of those bitches that I love. She's sassy, she's funny, at least that's my humble opinion, and I know a lot of people think she comes off fake, but I mean, I'd hang out with her. But that is beside the fucking point because this is about the products, and these, now that I've used them more, I don't want to say they were duds, but I don't think they were worth the hype. Like, at first I thought they were, but I've dipped into these a few more times, and they just don't beat the original Jaclyn Morphe collaboration. In fact, it's more the same with a few little tweaks, and talk about inconsistent, like, holy shit. This green, I have one that's very similar from the indie brand Mater Makeup Labs that performs amazingly. Like, there's no reason this green should be so splotchy and so inconsistent. And I'm still so confused as to why we got 2 greens that are almost identical. Like, that's a pretty ass green, but if we can't even get one of them to work, why the fuck would we want 2? And don't even get me started about this shade right here, Berry Treasure. Like, that looks so fucking stunning, but then once you swatch it or apply it to the eye, it totally loses its shimmer. In fact, you can see right where I swatched it in there, it's like all shimmer, and and then nothing right there, and that's exactly what happens. Like, the shimmer totally disappears. The shadow teases me, and unless I'm doing somebody's hair, I do not like teasing. However, the shadows that did work were absolutely beautiful. Like, this palette right here, Ring the Alarm, I thought was so gorgeous, and at first, I thought this one was so boring, but I actually love it. And other than the green in this palette, Armed and Gorgeous is actually kind of fucking amazing. Like, each palette does have really good qualities, and I don't know that you'd necessarily be disappointed if you bought these, but because these are from Morphe and because Jaclyn's name was on it, I was kind of expecting more. But let's move on to our final category, which is the best. First up, we have a few products from Covergirl, which I'm actually surprised that I liked these. From their summer collection, we have the Covergirl Chocoholic Contour Palette, their Peach Punch Highlighter Palette, and their Peach Punch Blush. First of all, these smell like a damn wet dream. Oh shit, I just dug into it, But I don't typically use shimmery products because they tend to make my face look a little bit chubby. But I love the shit out of these, and I also forgot to mention their bronzer, which I'm actually wearing right now, and I love it so damn much. I'm also wearing the contour right now, and I think it complements my skin tone so well. Like, it's the perfect amount of cool, and I love the shit out of the fact that I can use these for multiple things. Like, when I reviewed these, I actually used them as eyeshadow palettes, and they created beautiful looks. They're on the more affordable side. They're very good quality. Like, I totally recommend them. I also recommend the Makeup Revolution Carmi palette, which I'm actually wearing today, and I fucking adore it. I know I'm a little bit late to the game with this, but I finally dipped into this, and I'm really impressed. I'm not positive that you can still get your hands on this, but if you can, totally go for it. You will not regret it. Plus, it comes with two really pretty highlighters. Next up, we have yet another Covergirl product, one that I very much regret waiting so long to try. That is their True Blend Matte Made Foundation, and I was very scared of this because of the word matte. Like, I thought it was gonna look cakey and nasty on my dry skin, but even though this was matte, it actually looked very nice and natural and dewy on my skin. And it is kind of light to medium coverage, but you can easily build it up, and the more that you build it up, the better it actually looks. Like, it doesn't start to get cakey and crusty on your skin. It looks very natural. It wears fabulously. They do have a really good shade range. I think they had 40 shades, and there definitely was room for more shades, but still, they did a pretty good job. I don't remember exactly how much this was, but because it's Covergirl, I'm assuming that it's fairly inexpensive. The only thing that I don't absolutely love about this foundation is the smell. Like, it just has an odd smell. It's not like chemical smell, it's just a strong foundation smell. Actually, it kind of smells like lube. And our second to last product is the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer in the shade Vanilla specifically. I love the shit out of this. In fact, I definitely wish I'd worn it today because I don't know if you can tell, but I did not get enough sleep, and no, I was not doing anything fun. The bitch next door's cigarette smoke was keeping me away, but she had a very juicy argument. Anyways, I really like this concealer. It is a little bit too yellow and a little bit too light for me, but once I blend it out, it actually looks really, really good. And I will say that I personally don't get extremely full coverage with this. Like, I do kind of have to layer it, but usually I'll do one layer and then take a little bit under the eyes and dab it around, and that seems to hide my sins pretty well. But this little beast, even though it was kind of on the pricey side, will last you so fucking long. Like, you literally only need a few drops. You don't have to smear it all over your face like you do with other ones. Plus, you get quite a bit more product in this than you do with competitive brands. So for me, even though this was like, what, 30 or 40 bucks, I think it's well worth the money. Now, if only their 20-year palette had been as good as this was, I wouldn't have had to bitch about it. But our final product for this month is from a brand that I am so fucking proud of, and that is Misfit Beauty Cosmetics, specifically the In-Between Stranger Things palette. One of my fabulous subscribers told me about this brand, and the moment I saw this, I knew I had to have it. Like, I always love to support indie brands, especially when they're doing innovative things like this, and I find that these indie brands totally slay the game. Like, they blow every big retailer out of the fucking water. The quality of this palette was so damn good, and you can tell that it was made with love. Unfortunately, though, this was limited edition, and she only made so many of these. But the moment I reviewed these, she sent me a message saying, "Oh my god, thank you so much. I never thought this would happen." And I just felt so honored that something I did helped a fellow indie brand out. I believe she only had like 300 or 400 of these, and she was clean wiped out, so I'm just so fucking happy. But this was so damn good. I 100% recommend that you go follow them for future launches. It's Misfit Beauty. I love them. Anyways, there you go. Like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplix.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplix.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.